I have Jeff Bonanno.
Pretty close, Bonanno here.
Thank you. Excuse me if I say your name wrong.
It's fine.
Matthew Boo,
Here.
Lindsay Costello, Salvador Duarte, David Giacomin, Vince Harris,
Here.
Mayuko Majima, Paul Malakowski,
Close enough, I'm here.
sorry, Dora Martinez, Benjamin Miller,
I'm here.
Mark Moret,
I'm here.
Ann Silver, Larry Skelton,
Present.
Paul Hewitt.
Here.
Thank you.
Oh, I think you're muted.
I was muted, sorry. We have a quorum.
We do.
So I just want to make a note that we have 2 new members tonight, and I want to welcome Paul and Paul Skelton. We have 2 Pauls now, or Paul Hewen, excuse me, and Larry Skelton. So welcome. And we also have a few guests, and I just want to take a moment to introduce our guests. We've got Petra with RTC Access on, in case there's any questions for RTC Access. And we've got RTC staff, which includes Dan Dunges, our planning director, Jim Gee with Transit, Lolita Davis and Jackie Maladondo, myself, Rebecca Capular. And I don't think there's any other staff. Did I miss anybody from RTC? Okay, well, other guests that we have include Officer Pape with Safe Routes to School and MJ Cloud, also with Safe Routes to School. And Khalil Wilson is here for City of Reno, and those folks are for another item. And just for the record, I want to note that David just joined the meeting. So the time is 5:33, and with that, I'll hand it over to our chairman.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Rebecca. Okay. Let's go jump right into this. Starting off with item number 1, approval of agenda for possible action. If we don't have any changes or anything that need to be made, if I could get a motion to approve the agenda, please.
This is Vince Harris. I move to approve the agenda for the evening.
All right, thanks, Vince. Can I get a second?
Mark Miranda, I second.
We got a first and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Awesome, thank you. Moving on to item number 2, public comment. Rebecca, do we have any public comment that needs to be made?
No, I have not received any public comment, and it doesn't look like there's anybody in the conference room today.
Awesome. All right. Moving on to item number 3, approval of November 3rd meeting minutes. If everyone's had an opportunity to look at the minutes, if I can get a motion to approve the minutes, please.
Mark Miranda, I motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you, Mark. Can I get a second?
Vince Harris, second.
Thank you, Vince. We have a first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Awesome, thank you. All right, moving right along. Item number 4, election of vice chair for the remainder of fiscal year 2022. Rebecca, do you want to touch base on what happened here?
Yes, thank you very much. So Jillian Keller took a new position, and we wish her lots of luck at the Eddy House. So she has stepped down as a CMAC member and our chair. Therefore, Jeff was our vice chair and gracious enough to accept filling out her role as chair until the end of this term, which will be until July 1st, 2022. So therefore, we now need a vice chair. And so that's what this item is for, is to just elect a vice chair to fill that term as well.
Thank you, Rebecca. And I just also want to add, since I'm actually probably going to be terming out in about 1.5 years myself, so I believe, if my math is correct, then that means I highly encourage people who maybe have thought of filling in a role of chair or vice chair in the past, but they haven't had an opportunity to. This might be a great opportunity for you to start getting your feet wet in this. Would love to see some new blood involved in getting involved with the RTC CMAC, the whole process. So if you are even remotely interested, we'd love to have you be part of the vice chair for this round. I guess we'll go ahead and first kick it off with, do we have anybody that would like to nominate themselves or nominate someone else?
I just want to note that Dora Martinez has joined the meeting.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Sorry for the interruption.
Oh, no, you're fine. Sorry, I have an angry kid in the background.
Oh, Jeff, I think you're muted.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
So yes, at this time, is there anyone that is interested in nominating themselves or nominating someone else?
And again, this term will just be until July when the new officers are in. So it's not a big commitment.
Hey, Jeff, this is Ben Miller. If, you know, I'll volunteer to do it if nobody else would like to.
Awesome. All right, so we have Ben. Thank you very much for stepping up, Ben. Anybody else? All right, well, hearing nothing from anyone else, let's go ahead and should we just go ahead and do a motion, Rebecca?
Yes, please.
Okay. Can I get a motion to accept Benjamin Miller as vice chair for the remainder of this year's term?
This is Mark Miranda. I motion to accept Benjamin Miller for the remainder of the term.
We got a first from Mark. Can I get a second, please?
Vince Harris, second.
I have a first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Congratulations, Ben. It is unanimous. You are vice chair for the remainder of the year. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Or I should say the remainder of the term, because the year is almost up. All right. With that, let's go ahead and move on to item number 5. Recommend funding ranked and prioritized transportation alternatives set aside. And Rebecca, I believe this is yours, correct?
It sure is. Thank you so much. I just want to start by saying this has been a great call for projects. We streamlined our process. As you know, we brought it to the committee before we did our call for projects, and we had it open until October. We had 3 months worth of time for the local jurisdictions to work with their city councils or their their governing boards to determine what projects they would want to submit for funding. This is federal dollars, and they're usually eligible. Projects that would be eligible include non-motorized mobility, historical preservation, scenic, safe routes to school, and environmental management related to transportation activities. This is really great because a lot of times this is the kind of funding that doesn't come available very often. And we were looking for 2 fiscal years for federal fiscal year 21 and 22. In your packets that we submitted to you, we had used our new scoring criteria, and all the projects we received did rank and score. We got City of Sparks for fiscal year 22. They put in an application for a regional trail connectivity project near Wingfield Hills Road. And that was to just provide pedestrian connectivity to 2 existing portions of the regional trail that borders the scenic North Truckee Drain. City of Sparks couldn't be here today, but I have talked to Amber, and if there's any questions on this application, I can try to answer them for you. The next project that ranked was number 2 is the Washoe County School District Safe Routes to School program for federal fiscal year 2021. And that was a infrastructure project to install, actually purchase solar powered radar signs and rapid flashing beacons. And they're going to put those in within the vicinity of some schools, and the city of Reno will install those. And we have Officer Pape and MJ Cloud to answer any questions that might come up on that project. City of Reno was the 3rd ranked, and that was a project that was approved by their Reno City Council to come to you, or come to RTC as an application for this funding. And it's for Urban Road and Plumas Street sidewalk. And they'll be installing sidewalk, curb, and gutter on the south side of Urban Road from Arlington Avenue to Plumas, and then on the west side of Plumas Street from Urban Road to Mountain View Drive. And that will encourage non-motorized travel, improve access to transit, and reduce emissions and energy by encouraging non-motorized travel. The 4th project we received ranked was another City of Sparks project for federal fiscal year 2021. And that is a school zone flasher project near Van Gorder Elementary School. They have received a lot of issues, and they will be replacing 3 static signs with 3 school zone flashers. They'll be updating existing worn school signage in the area and updating any striping associated with the school zone. So this project is really to help with traffic calming and encourage safety within the vicinity of Van Gorder Elementary School. And then the last project that we received ranked was the Washoe County School District for federal fiscal year 2022. And this is the only non-infrastructure project we received. It would be to purchase safe routes to school equipment, including safety vests. They have these yield to pedestrian signs that the schools, they call them a pet in a bag. The schools pull out during school time and put signage up for the crosswalks, so that drivers will be aware that students are walking and biking within the vicinity of the school grounds. And the goal is to make it a safer environment and try to reduce the number of cars and encourage more walking and biking to school. So the good news is that all of our projects we received did rank, and their applications were all validated and verified, and they all came in within budget. This was the first time since I've worked at RTC that has happened. Again, we have Officer Pape and MJ Cloud if you have questions on that project. And I'll open it up to you guys, but basically staff is just recommending that we fully fund all of the applications we received.
Awesome. Thank you, Rebecca. Do we have any questions?
Hi, this is Dora Martinez. I have a quick question because you kind of caught my ear checking when you said it was federally funded. So with Amber's City of Sparks project, you said, what did you say? A hiking trail? Was that, did I misheard that? Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Let me read you the exact project description. It will provide pedestrian connectivity to 2 existing portions of the regional trail that borders the scenic North Truckee Drain. The new project crossing is proposed on Wingfield Hills Road, and it's an arterial. So no, it's not a trail. It's adjacent to a busy road arterial. The nearest existing crosswalk is on Wingfield Hills road to the north, and it's more than 1,300 feet away from the nearest existing crosswalk to the south, which is more than 900 feet away.
Right.
And it will provide ADA accessibility to the existing regional trail and provides connectivity to neighborhoods within the community.
Oh, you know what I'm coming from. So with the regarding with the ADA, I assume that you guys as engineers gonna go through that, following the like bullet points, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And with the solar system for the school, what can you explain what that is? Thank you so much.
So this for the city of Sparks, the solar, or for the school flashers, which one are you referring to, Dora?
Can you do both, please? Thank you.
I will take on the city of Sparks for the Van Gorder project. That one is they're replacing 3 signs and updating it with traffic calming devices. I'm not sure that those are going to be, let me look and see if it says that they're solar here. 3 school zone flashers, updating old signage in the area, any striping. And so this project is going to be putting in some new signage for reducing the school zone speeds, which is usually 15 miles per hour. They don't have any flashing lights there. And MJ or Officer Pape, do you want to talk about the solar signs that you'll be doing with your project?
Good evening, this is MJ. I want to make sure my mute is off and my computer audio is working.
It is,
You're
thank
good.
you.
Most excellent. The feedback signs are the actual speed limit signs. They're a deterrent. We're not going to be changing any of the speed limits within the school zones. However, the feedback signs will let a driver know their speed as they enter into a school zone. And that's a deterrent, and it's one of the measures that we take in order to make drivers aware that they're entering into a school zone and to please slow down and be aware. The pedestrian activated flashers are going to be placed in crosswalks either within a school zone or directly impacted by students who walk to and from school with a large capacity. I want to go ahead and let the committee know that yesterday, a student from Desert Heights was hit by a vehicle in a crash. She was in the cross zone on Stead and Mount Anderson. And I'll be using that as one of the examples that the city of Reno can install that lighting. We appreciate the city of Reno and are working together because they'll do the installation and they're encumbering the cost to maintain the lighting, which is a big thing. So if we are awarded that funding, those lights will purchase and work with the city of Reno to put in.
And MJ, just for clarification, when you say lighting, it's a push activated button and then it puts flashers to let drivers know there's pedestrians crossing a marked crosswalk.
Exactly. It is not a school zone lighting. It is a pedestrian activated flasher.
Thank you. Do you have any
Thank
other
you, MJ.
questions for any of us?
Mr. Chairman, this is Vince Harris. I had a general question, Rebecca.
Okay, Vince.
So do the applicants have to disclose what is the fund source for their local match?
Yes, and that should be in your packet. The local match is required 5%, and we ask them all to give us a budget and where their matches are. Once this funding is approved by this committee or these projects are approved, it will then go to our TAC and then to our board, hoping that we'll get that there for December. And then once it's all approved, I will let NDOT know because it's federal dollars. The money is through NDOT. They're the stewards of the federal funding. So they will then start the agreements with the local jurisdictions and make sure their matches and everything is copacetic.
Thank you.
You're welcome. A great question.
Chuck, I have one more. This is Dora Martinez. So I really do appreciate this. This is awesome. So thank you for doing this. Just a quick maybe reminder, when you guys do put the signal, to activate, the flashers for the school zone, because I can't remember what street I was walking on because I walked everywhere. I think it was Neil Road. There is those flashers, the activating flashers. When we went to push it, it works, but it was, there are those dots, you know, because there's a crosswalk in the middle of the street. So there's those dots to stop the wheelchair so it doesn't go into traffic. But the button, the pole was right next to the dots, you know, that's on the sidewalk. And so if the person on the wheelchair was trying to pass, they couldn't because it's within the 36 inches, you know, that's the ADA criteria. So if you guys are going to do that, and I hope there's no pole there, I mean, I think this is going to be an installment, please bear that in mind, you know, so the sidewalk is wide open for people using a wheelchair and just regular, you know, non-disabled pedestrian. Just a reminder. Thank you.
Thank you, Dora. I appreciate that. And because we mentioned it's federal dollars, we are required to make sure everything that's installed will be ADA compliant. And I appreciate that reminder. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Any other questions?
Yeah, hi, this is Matthew.
Yes,
Vogt.
Matthew.
So it sounds like we've granted all of the applications funding that applied. Is there any additional funding available that has not been used yet?
That's a great question. So we were anticipating roughly $805,000 available. Some of that money rolls over. And as you can see on the second page, the applications are just a little bit over that. It's maybe $2,000 over, give or take a little bit. And so we're confident that even though it's a little bit over what we have funding for, you know, once the projects are all finished, it'll balance out. So no, at this time, there's no additional funding. I couldn't expect for this to have ran any smoother. It's like everybody got together and figured it out and the money just worked really well. In fact, I didn't mention, but I want to, on November 9th, I met with all the applicants together and we discussed the applications because we wanted to make sure we were all in collaboration together in case the funding was such where it was too much requested versus what we had available, but that didn't happen. So this has been a very smooth transition.
Sounds good, thank you. So I'm not sure if this would complicate things, but in terms of just a more detailed question on one of the, for the city of Reno, Plumas and urban streets, is it possible to complete the road diet? I saw the pictures on the agenda, how we still have the 2 through lanes on one side of the street, and then you got 1 through lane bike lane. And I'm just wondering what kind of things the city of Reno was looking into when looking at options to even increase the multimodal than what was already proposed.
Thank you. I'll hand that question over to Khalil if he's still on the line and wants to take that call or that question.
Khalil Wilson, City of Reno. I'm not sure I understand the question. Is the question that are we doing any road diets for Plumas? Or,
yeah. So on the proposed cross section for Plumas, I see you're adding the sidewalk on one side of the street.
Yep.
Right. And currently there's 2 through lanes. And if you look on the other side of Plumas, you've got the 1 lane plus the bike lane. So I'm wondering if we've looked more into kind of copying that side of the street to the other side.
Oh, okay. I understand the question. No, it wasn't. That was not within the scope of this project. It was essentially we looked at pedestrian connectivity from the Arlington area, the Arlington urban area down to the tennis courts and over to Virginia Lake.
Okay. Yeah, I was just thinking while the project is out there to make that last final change to the striping on Plymouth Street. That's just what I was thinking. All right, thank you.
Excuse me. Any other questions? Hearing none, we can open it up to public if there's any public comment.
I have not received any additional public comment.
Awesome. Thank you, Rebecca. All right, then let's go ahead and bring it back and see if we can get a motion to approve The recommended funding ranked in prioritization transportation alternatives. Can I get a motion and a second, please?
This is Ben Miller. I motion to approve.
Thank you, Ben.
This is Paul, you and I second.
All right, thank you, Paul. We have a first and second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any? All right, thank you. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. All right, moving on to item number 6. And let's see, that's member announcements, agenda items for future CMAC meetings. Anything from any members? Going once, twice, sold. All right. Moving on to item number 7, RTC ride access staff items.
The only thing that I already mentioned is we have 2 new members and I just want to welcome them again. So thank you. I don't know if any other staff has any updates.
Rebecca, this is for the record, Jim Gee, Service Plan Innovation Manager, RTC. And the big news I have is we have a tentative agreement between Keolis, who's our fixed route operator, and the Teamsters Union. So hopefully the strike will be over very soon. The union votes tomorrow morning starting at 10 o'clock. The agreement has been endorsed by the union leadership, and so we do expect it to pass. And if it does pass, then we will resume full service as best we are able to, beginning on Saturday of this week. So hopefully, keep your fingers crossed, they do vote yes, they come back, and we're able to start rolling out better service than what we have now.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jim. Gee, this is Dora Martinez. I have a quick question if you don't mind me asking. So do you know if the services resume on Saturday, is it going to be free for appreciation? And if so, can Access do the same? Because we kind of don't understand why there was contingency for transportation when there is a strike, and it was free for the RTC, you know, the big bus, Flex and all, but Access riders were still paying for the service, even though they got picked up way beyond their time and got dropped off later than their scheduled time. So my peers are just wondering about those things. Thank you.
So good question. We are still discussing the length of free fares and when it will expire. We do know that we'll go to at least Monday. So we'll be free fares until at least Monday. But anything beyond that is really still under discussion. We're not sure yet. But frankly, we're just hoping they vote yes tomorrow.
So this is Dora Martinez for the record again. So my question again was, so since the RTC ride are free, how come paratransit isn't the same thing? Because we are picked up late and dropped off late.
Yeah, so what we did is during the second strike, when the second strike was over, we extended the free fares for everybody because we knew we had folks that bought passes and were unable to use those passes. And so as a courtesy, we also extended that to Access members. And when we had that announcement, we had a set end date for all of those services at a specific date. When that date came up, unfortunately, the union had already decided to go on a third strike. And so they remained out. We decided that for those fixed route passengers who were struggling to get to where they needed to go because of the lack of services, we extended the free fares for the fixed route side, but we did reinstitute the fare on the Access side to basically keep our commitment of what the start date, resuming that start date would be, and also to help us, frankly, operationally, because we were struggling with making sure our service is reliable for everybody.
I appreciate that. And just, maybe bear in mind, this is Dora Martinez again for the record. Maybe next time it should be all be equal. I mean, if the right is free, so should access. I mean, we are people with disability and they are limited. I mean, we, set income. So, and they are trying to work, but then they lost their jobs because they got picked up late. So I just thought I make that public. So thank you.
And it's definitely a great point, Dora. I know everybody, fixed route, paratransit, flex ride, every service we had was just struggling during the past few months of the labor issues that we had. And, fortunately, it looks like there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and we can start moving forward and being as reliable and as we can with our service. And that's all I have, Rebecca.
Thanks, Jim.
Awesome.
I believe that's all we have from staff.
Rebecca, this is Dan Denges for the record, RTC Planning. Just real quickly, just wanted to put it out there that RTC will be conducting their annual Stuff a Bus holiday food drive. So we will be accepting donations that will be given to the Food Bank of Northern Nevada on December 9th at the Sam's Club off of Kitski. So I would encourage you just to get the word out, and if you have some food items you'd like to donate, non-perishable, of course, please feel free to drop by. I believe the hours will be out there from, I want to say 10 to 4, so the majority of the day, but yeah, I appreciate any donations. Thank you.
And Dan, I just want to say that I think it's actually 10 to 6. And
Oh.
I'll be there personally and from 12 to 2 if anybody wants to come see me.
When is this again? Sorry, this is Dora Martinez.
Next Thursday, December 9th.
I have a question, Dan. This is Dora Martinez. I mean, a couple of years ago, we did, if paratransit riders bring, a can of non-perishable food, they could ride for free. Is it possible to put that back on? Because not all of us can drop food at that location and then turn around and go back home. It's a long wait. So I was just, thought I'd throw it out there. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dora, for that suggestion. That's something we could certainly discuss here at RTC internally, and that's a valid question.
Awesome. Thank you, Dan. All right. Anyone else from RTC staff? Nothing. Okay. Awesome. So moving right along then. Winding down to public comment. Any last public comment, Rebecca?
Nope, we haven't received any.
Okay, sounds good. Then we will go ahead and bring right to the last item. Can I get a motion for adjournment, please? Unless you all want to stay here.
Move to adjourn, Vince Harris.
Thank you, Vince. Can I get a second?
Mark Miranda, I second.
Second.
Thank you. All right, we've got first, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody. Happy holidays.
Any opposed?
Holidays.
Hearing none. Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you very much, and welcome new members.
And I just want to
you.
note the time is 6:04. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good holiday. Bye.